check out this little porthole frame that I bought at Savers for $5.99. Do cruises have gift shops? Because this one says it's from Norwegian Cruise. Ooh, speaking of cruises, who's on cruise TikTok? You know, the one that they're cruising for 9 months? That's a long time to be on a boat. I don't think I could do it, but I'm excited to see what kind of drama comes out of this. Like, I work from home now, so my daily dose of drama has definitely dropped. Whoa, that was a lot of D's. That's what she said. Anyways, I'm so deprived of drama that I look for drama where there is none. Like, when my husband comes home, I question about every little detail about his day. I'm like, she said what to you? And he's like, yeah, she asked for staples. And I'm like, you know what that means? And then my husband just rolls his eyes because he doesn't crave drama like I do. Anyways, if you haven't noticed, I'm making an octopus. I know, you're surprised. And the circle window, which is, you know, the porthole. But I mean, I've talked about octopuses and circle windows enough in my videos, so I'm just going to talk more about this cruise because I'm fascinated how anybody could spend 9 months of their life on a boat. I couldn't because maldebarkment syndrome exists. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Hold up.
Maldebarkment syndrome.
Yeah, that. And what is that? The most terrible thing that could ever happen to you, in my opinion. Okay, maybe not the most terrible, but it's where you feel like you're on the boat even when you're not on the boat anymore, but for the rest of your life. Oh my God, I get that after being on a boat for only an hour. I mean, not for the rest of my life, obviously, but I feel like I'm on the boat the next night, so at least 24 hours. Could you imagine 9 months of that and then you get off the boat? You're never the same again. That is why I'm terrified to go on a cruise. That and every video that I see of a cruise ship, the toilets back up and people are just walking in poop water. I just don't trust that in 9 months that the toilets aren't going to back up at some point. Oh, and all their food is a buffet. Are you kidding? How many colds and flus are you going to catch in 9 months? Everybody's just breathing the same air. Okay, they're not really, but you know what I mean? Honestly, I don't even think I would enjoy myself because I'd be so afraid if I got off the boat would leave without me. I couldn't actually do any sightseeing because what if you get stuck in traffic? What if you get in a car accident? What if you get kidnapped and your family can't pay the ransom? I mean, what if you get diarrhea because you've been eating cruise food for 9 months and you don't know how long that cruise ship buffet has been sitting out? And of course, you can't get diarrhea on the boat. You have to get diarrhea in Rome while you're off the boat. And now you have to do a little poop run to get to the cruise ship that's taking off. But of course you miss it and now you're stuck in Rome with poopy pants and no change of clothing. That is so scary. I would just end up staying on the boat for 9 months and I would hate it because it would get so small and cramped. Anyways, I guess I'm done with this art. What do you guys think? And what, would you go on this cruise? Are you scared to have poopy pants? Hey, guess what I'm making today? I'll bet you never guess. Aw, dang it. You guys know me too well. Of course I'm making an octopus. Look at my little aluminum octopus. But not for too long, because here comes her little clay coat that I'm adding. So now she's a clayopus. Hey, where are you going, little octopus? Get back here. You forgot your eyes. Boink. Also, all your webbing. I think it's called webbing. I don't know. You know, an octopus's skirt. And then I was going to put her in this cup, but she was a little too big. But that's okay. We love her at any size. We'll just put her on this to bake instead. And then it'll be like she's standing up. All right, so I'm going to do a little paint here. And this is a special octopus because I've had this person comment on almost all of my videos that they wanted a starry octopus. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sorry it took so long. I had a lot going on, but I'm finally doing it. Look, she's going to be the queen of starry octopuses. So I'm just painting her all sorts of outer space colors. I guess they're not exactly outer space colors, but they're kind of like nebula colors. Is that the right word? Y'all know me in words. I've always wondered, are nebulas actually that color or do people edit the photos to make them more colorful? You know what? It could be the Aurora Borealis. Oh my gosh. Aurora Borealis. I think if I say it fast enough, nobody will notice I pronounced it wrong. But you know what I'm talking about, the northern lights, which I guess you can see them sometimes in Minnesota, but I've never seen them. I think I live too close to the city. Oh shoot, I'm done already. I was totally going to talk about the charm that I added. Well, too late now. Here's the finished product. And what do you guys think? Did I capture the starry nightiness? All right, you knew it was going to happen. I'm painting Halloween octopuses. They're spooky pusses. Ooh, do they have tentacles? Anyways, I'm making 3 of them. And this first one is a trick-or-treating octopus. It's a treatopus. Think about how much candy a treatopus could hold. Look, I realize that this treatopus only has 6 arms, but you just can't see the other 2. They're behind him. So at some point, I hated the colors that were going on here, and I sanded it down and repainted it. Look, sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's okay. We just paint over them and pretend like they don't exist. Because they don't. Here we go, round 2. So if an octopus came to your door, would you put candy in each one of his bags? Or do you only put candy in one of them? Look, if an octopus came to my door, I'm a big fan. And I would just give him the whole bowl because he deserves it. I mean, screw whatever human child is behind him. Sorry, we're out of candy. It all went to the octopus. Next time, be an octopus. Oh, that's physically impossible? We'll try harder. Okay, next up we have a Witchopus. And don't worry, I'll show you what these all look like at the end. But hold up, what are you doing? Are you skipping forward? I'm watching you. Okay, if you really want to, come, but you're gonna miss everything else. Like me painting this Witchopus and then painting over this Witchopus because I hate the colors in my life. Okay, maybe not my life, but definitely the colors. Why am I so indecisive? Here we go for round 2. So what kind of sea creature would be the Witchopus's black cat? I mean, the obvious answer would be a catfish, but aren't they like lake creatures and not ocean creatures? For some reason, I'm seeing a pufferfish. I know they're not black, but I feel like they'd be sassy like a black cat, right? And if you get too close, they like scratch you. Only that would kill you. Anyways, next up is our Ghostopus, Phantompus, Spiritopus, a Hauntopus. So why is it that other animals don't become ghosts? I mean, maybe they do, but there's not a whole lot of stories about ghosts being animals, except for maybe a cat or a dog. But what about all the goldfish that die? Would their ghosts go down in the sewer where you flush their dead little fishy body? Or would it just haunt the fishbowl? And all the goldfish after it would be super traumatized from their goldfish ghost encounters. Maybe that's why we think that they have a 10-second memory, because they're just trying to forget what they saw. And they don't live very long because they have heart attacks from all the ghost scares. It's just my theory. And we're done. Check out my 3 Halloween-opuses. What do you guys think? I don't know what you're doing, but hold the phone because I'm doing something big. I mean, sort of. I'm making a big painting. But if you've been following me, you know that I love tea paraphernalia. You know, like teacups and teapots. I also love circle windows, but that's a totally different video. So what am I doing? I'm making the biggest teacup octopus painting ever. Okay, maybe not ever. I'm sure there's bigger ones. But this is the biggest one I've ever made. Look, I literally have to stand up to paint it. And look, I have to sit down to paint the bottom part because my easel is not big enough. Or my ceiling. Now that's a weird word. Easel. 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 Sounds like somebody's name. Did Easel invent the easel? Anyways, okay, so what is this octopus doing in these teacups? I don't know. Why are you asking me? You should be asking the octopus. But if I had to guess, these teacups are a portal to another octopusy dimension. It's a dimensional pussy. Because aren't all octopuses like aliens? Anyways, I'd love to go down that random thought road, but look, I'm done. It looks like Edgar has something to say.
Yes.
Yes, Edgar. We love you too. Okay, look at this painting. And ignore the cat in the background. Check it out. I added mushrooms. The other thing that I like. Now, if only it had a circle window, it would be complete. Hello, cat of annoyance. Well, since Edgar's parked himself in front of my painting, I'll try this side. Edgar, be quiet. There, can you see it better? Anyways, what do you guys think? No, my painting, not the cat. Get out of here, Edgar. I have no idea why I didn't just refilm this. I think I'm lazy. So I bought like a 10-pack of these Hexagon canvases, and I didn't realize that there's little Hexagon canvases inside the big Hexagon canvas. It's canvas inception. I love a bonus canvas. So I decided to paint something simple, like this smiley face. There, done. It's a masterpiece. I'm just kidding. For some reason, I still have an octopus itch. So to itch that itch, I'm gonna make some more octopuses. Octopi? Octopuses. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't be telling people that I have an itchy octopus. They're gonna look at me weird, and people already look at me pretty weird. Okay, this conversation's going way downhill. Let's start over. Hi, I'm Ashley, and I don't have an itchy octopus, but I'm gonna make an octopus on this Hexagon canvas. Yes, totally nailed that intro. And so I sketched out an octopus, but I hated it. So I sketched out a second octopus, and it looked a lot like the first one, and third time's a charm, so I ended up with this one, and transferred it onto my canvas using the scribble method. Yeah, I could use carbon paper, but this is so much more fun. Stop being a fun killer. And I know you can't see it, but trust me, it's there. So I just outlined my octopus, and then the fun part, adding the clay. I got 1 leg, 2 legs, 3 legs, an upside down 4th leg, and I'm bored, so let's speed these up. There, 8 legs. Now for the teeny tiny suction cups, which is also boring, but I think it's more satisfying to see it all sped up. So here you go. Oh yeah, look at all those suction cups. It totally sucks. Get it? It sucks. Okay, bad joke. Let's move on. So I'm just adding some highlights and some colorful stuff and some shadows. And then I'm filling in these suction cups with some darker stuff and then wiping it away and added some other colors. I mean, what color is an octopus really? Like, they're not really red, but they're not really pink. What is that like in between color? And they're not all that color. Can they change colors? I feel like I think I've read that somewhere where octopuses can change colors. I mean, look, I could Google it, but you know, I'm lazy. And what would I talk to you about? How I wish I could change the color of my hair like an octopus whenever I want to? That would be cool. Yep, that would have been a way better conversation. But look at that, we're out of time because now I have to show off the finished product. And there he is in the sunlight. And here he is not in the sunlight. Get up in there with all those details. Oh, that's a little too close. Well, let's just back up and give him some space. And what do you guys think? I think I still have an octopus itch, so expect a couple more octopuses from me. Unless they make an ointment for that. It's actually tinfoil claws. I don't know what I'm doing, but do you want to check out the coolest lamp I've ever made? I mean, I've only made 2 lamps ever in my life, and the last one didn't go so well, so I don't have the greatest track record. But I think I did it this time. I think I made a cool lamp. So you all suggested that I do an octopus lamp, and I thought that was a great idea. So here's the head of my octopus, and then I made 8 legs. I counted them this time, 8. And then I covered this jar with saran wrap. That way when our octopus hardens, its legs will hold it up. And then I covered some of its legs in clay. And look, I know what this looks like. I'm just smoothing the clay out. I swear. There, now our octopus is a tripod triopus. It's a triopus. But not for too long, because we're going to do the rest of the legs. Because I don't want our octopus to be naked. But I mean, technically, we're like covering his bones. So he's going to be naked anyway. I don't know. Let's move on. So I mean, you get it. I covered 6 legs in clay. And put that down. How rude. So I bought this lamp kit off of Amazon, and it took me a long while to figure out how to put this thing together. But haha, I beat it. You can't fool me. Okay, I want our octopus to be holding the light above its head. Luckily, I had this handy dandy pegboard. Am I a genius? Maybe. Because look at that. Ta-da! Now just add clay. Lots of clay. A whole bunch of clay. And look at that. Isn't that the coolest thing you've ever seen? Okay, but maybe lower your expectations a little bit. It's a lot of pressure, and I've only ever made 2 lamps. And I think I mentioned the last one did not go so well. So let's just lower those expectations to like knee level. Okay, good. Let's move on. I didn't think I was making an alien octopus, but when I stepped back and squinted a little bit, he looks like an alien. I mean, it might be the color, but it's more likely my poor sculpting skills. So I redid the eyes. It's not 100% better, but it's good enough. Okay, he's missing his octopus skirt. You know, the stretch of skin between his legs. Hold up, that sounded bad. I don't know what else to call it. It probably doesn't even have a name, but it does now. It's an octopus skirt. Write it in your textbook. Okay, now we're just hot gluing the cord into its crotch. Wait, where is the crotch of an octopus? Between its legs or its underbelly? Because don't they technically have a beak here? Do they have a beak in their crotch? Can I say the word crotch? Is that a bad word? I feel like it's not, because lots of things can have a crotch that has nothing to do with legs. Okay, I feel like I'm saying crotch too much. Ooh, say that 10 times fast. Crotch too much, crotch too much, crotch too much. Well, that went downhill fast. I know, let's just move on. So first I painted him blue, but I hated it, so I wiped it all off. And then I thought bronze is way more fancier, so I painted him bronze. But it was lacking that shininess, so I added some bronze foil. But then he was too shiny. I know, make up your freaking mind, Ashley. So I added some bubbles. What do you mean I added bubbles? I glued on this embossing powder and heated it up till it made bubbles. Oh yeah, look at those bubbles. Those are some good bubbles, but it's still too shiny. So I slathered it in some paint and wiped it all off. See, watch, wipe, wipe, paint, paint, wipe. Yeah, I mean, you get the idea. And then I added some turquoise colors and some dark blues. And I thought his eye needed something, so I just painted that. And aha, it's a freaking octopus lamp. Just adding the shade. Look how cool this thing is. I feel like I've leveled up my lamp making skills. I'm like a level 2 lamp maker now out of 20 levels. But still, it's progress. What do you guys think? Look how cute this frame is. I picked it up at a thrift store for like $5. Let's just pick that cat hair off. And the family's cute, but I don't know any of these people, so let's make art out of it. Could you imagine if you just kept the pictures that come in frames? And when somebody comes over, you just make up a fake family? And you're like, yeah, that's my cousin Bobo and Auntie M. No, those aren't made up names. They aren't weird. You're weird for questioning my family. Get out of my house, you weirdo. Okay, but what a great way to keep people from visiting your house again. Always make them question your sanity. Because people who have their life all together scare me way more than people who don't. Who has their life all together? Not me. And if you do, you're either lying to yourself or you're way too good to talk to me. I'm going to be intimidated and you need to get out of my house because it's stressing me out. You amazingly put together human. Anyway, I should probably talk a little bit about what I'm doing here. So if you've noticed, I put an octopus on this frame. You see in my last octopus video, I'd mentioned putting an octopus on a piece of glass, and you super smart people suggested that I used a picture frame. And duh, I don't know why I didn't think of that. You all are obviously more put together than I am. So that's what I'm doing. Octopus on frame. But this gross felt is coming off anyways, so I'm just gonna help it along. Okay, so I have this super old epoxy. Does this stuff go bad because it's been sitting there for a while? Look, I don't know how to use epoxy very well, so hold off your judgment, you judgy people. Make judgersons. I'm just kidding. The people who are judging are the ones with their lives put together, and we already kicked those people out of my house, so it's just you and me now, hopefully. Unless I missed a few judgy people in the corner. In which case, what are you doing here? Anyways, just ignore them. So this thing took a lot more epoxy than I expected. By the end, I was mixing it in the big cup rather than the itty bitty tiny cups. But since I was doing it in layers, I decided to put some paint in to add some depth. Like these swirly marks. Although now it's kind of looking like a cloud octopus. I don't know. I think it's fine. I'm going with that sea debris that looks like clouds. Like I said, it's fine. I'm sure there's sea debris in the ocean that looks like clouds. The ocean's big. Anyways, one last coat of epoxy and I'm done, sort of. When I took off the back, I took off the hook, so I need to add something to hang this on the wall. There's something. Hopefully it'll hold. Let's test it. It feels pretty sturdy. I think it'll be fine. But what do you guys think? And what do you think, Emily? Hey, too close. Oh, by the way, it glows in the dark. I'm really on a roll with these octopuses. I can't seem to get enough of octopuses right now. It's kind of like my mushroom phase. Remember my mushroom phase? Well, I do. I have tons of mushrooms right now because I couldn't stop creating mushrooms. And now I'm in an octopus phase. I will eventually move past this phase, but in the meantime, you're gonna have to watch another octopus painting from me. I'm sorry. I guess I'm not forcing you to watch it. You can totally scroll past. In fact, I probably suggest that you do. In fact, get out of here. What are you doing? Don't watch me create my art. It's funny. I used to totally be like that. I'd hate when people watch me create stuff. And now look at that. I have 1 million followers and I'm just out here creating stuff in the open. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still totally self-conscious, but it's sort of amazing that I have 1 million followers now. I feel like the pressure's on. I mean, before I was just creating art for whoever would see it, but now a million people are following me. I don't even know what to do with that information. Am I supposed to make a post? Am I supposed to make a 1 million follower post and do something cool? Like go skydiving or something? Because I'm up for some skydiving. I just don't know what proper etiquette is. I mean, I want to thank everybody because honestly, you guys are the stars in this. I didn't do anything. I just created some art, but I also don't want to feel like I'm bragging. Oh no, unless this video comes off as bragging. I really don't want to come off as bragging. I just want to thank everybody. So what do you think? Should I do like a painting giveaway? Or is that presumptuous to think that every follower wants my art? Because I know my art isn't for everybody. I mean, not everybody likes my art. What do other people do? Do they just make a thank you video? Anyways, I'm really self-conscious and I feel like I'm talking a lot about myself and I'm sorry. But I guess it's okay because I told everybody to leave and so there's probably like 3 people watching now. Hey, I look at my analytics. I know that most of you drop off after 3 to 4 seconds and that's okay. It makes me less self-conscious. Anyways, speaking of self-conscious, I feel like I'm talking a lot about myself again. Let's move on to this painting that I'm pretty much done with because I wasted the whole video talking about myself like an idiot. Well, there's another octopus painting down in the books. Wait, what are the books? What is that saying? And should I be keeping books? Okay, well, if you're keeping track and keeping a book on my art, which is kind of weird, but okay, here's another octopus painting. What do you guys think? Hey, guess what? I have another teapot and I got it for $4.49 at Savers. There's nothing on the bottom. Let's do the spider check. Like, I don't know what happened to it between now and then. A whole spider family could have moved in. And here we go. Oh, thank God it's empty. And it has really weird staining on the side. It doesn't smell like tobacco, but I think it's tobacco. Gross. Okay, so remember how I'm really into octopuses? I don't know. Maybe you've seen those videos. Well, I'm making a teapot octopus. Okay, so in my mind, octopuses guard treasure. Or is that dragons? They're pretty much the same thing, right? Octopuses are the dragons of the sea. Or maybe that's krakens. Anyways, so I'm sticking a bunch of treasure on the side of this teapot. Okay, it's more like trash, but it's like stuff that octopuses would like. Because honestly, what is an octopus gonna do with real treasure? Spend it? On what? Shoes? Anywho, speaking of octopods, octopodres, here I'm just making her legs and giving each one a nice fleshy coat and then attaching them to the top of my teapot. Ooh, look at this one. I'm putting it through the handle. Yeah, it's a handle leg. Anyways, I attached all the rest. And I counted this time. There are 8. There are 8 legs, 8 arms, tentacles, appendages, whatever. There are 8 of them. And look, our octopus is pouring herself a cup of tea. Isn't that cute? Okay, let's add some eyes. So I got my eye box out and picked out 2 eyes and then jammed them inside her head. It probably didn't hurt. Time for the suction cups. Okay, now that our octopus fully sucks, I added all these little dots for some reason. I don't know. Sometimes I just make weird choices. I sort of regret it, but it's fine. Then I painted the whole thing blue. And I had this foil that I thought would look good because it kind of looks like water, but you know, maybe this was another questionable design choice. So then I thought sparkles, because sparkles and bacon are the only 2 things in this world that nobody can argue with. And I was fresh out of bacon. And then I accidentally broke my teapot. I mean, the octopus's teapot, not the teapot octopus. So I tried gluing it back on, but that just didn't work. So I just used some leftover clay to attach it back on, but it kept falling. So here's my attempt at holding it up while it hardened. Then I gave up and just shoved some gloves in there. You know, sometimes the best solution is the most simple. Okay, obviously our octopus is not sparkly enough, so I'm adding some gold to her. And hey, get off my brush. Man, this stuff is clingy. Hey, look, it's a new technique. I just fling it at the teapot and hope it sticks. And here I am just painting the suction cups. And what's that? You don't remember me painting those dots white? Yeah, that's weird because there they are. They're white. Moving on. So I think the one thing that this teapot is missing is seaweed because we're underwater and there's seaweed underwater. Does it make sense that our octopus is pouring itself a cup of tea underwater? No, it does not. But we're gonna look past that. It's fine. You know what? If SpongeBob can do it, I can do it. And SpongeBob has like whole fire underwater, okay? Make that make sense. Anyway, so here's the end product. What do you guys think? I think it pulled together pretty well, even though I ran into a few issues. Hey, it's me, the octopus lady who can't stop making octopus art. Yeah, I'm sorry for flooding your FYP page with octopuses, so I'm gonna try to get them all out in this one video, because I have a lot of footage of me making octopuses. And trust me, nobody wants to see me make that many octopuses. And then we can move on to Halloween, because that's definitely my next obsession. Oh no, my mind's already gone to Halloween octopuses. I could make a ghost and a witch and a Frankenstein octopus. Somebody has to stop me like now. This is just, it's getting out of hand. This is too many octopuses. And I'm sure everybody is tired of me talking about octopuses. What am I even supposed to say? I've said it all already in all my other videos about octopuses. Look, I even merged mushrooms with this one. My other obsession. And look, here it is all finished. And hold on, there are more octopus paintings to show you. Whether or not you leave now, that's up to you. You can pretend like this is the video and we're done. Because here I am making another octopus. Imagine that. But this one's actually different. You just wait. I didn't mean for this to happen, but she turns into a cupcake octopus. Look at her little cherry on top. Does she only have 3 arms? Yes, but the other ones are hiding. You just can't see them. Or maybe she's an ice cream octopus. A creamopus? Ooh, I don't like that name. Let's just go back to cupcake. She's a cakeopus. An octocup-a-puss. She's a cupcakeopus. Next up, we have a glitter puss, known to shoot glitter instead of ink at its enemies. You know what? Glitter is way more of a weapon than ink anyway. And I'm tired of editing videos, so I'm just going to show you the final pusses. Here's the glitter puss mentioned before. Here's an octopus on a piece of wood. And look, this puss can stand up like this. It's a standing puss. And then we have an octopussy inside of a shell. See what I did there? It's a puss. No need to spend money on a turntable when you have a cat tail to turn your art. Come on, guys, get a room. Excuse me. And then last but not least, we have the mushroom puss. Because you know I'm obsessed with mushrooms and octopuses, so I merged the two. Which octopus was your favorite? I think I like the cupcakeopus. Or maybe I just like saying cupcakeopus.